Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So today we're going to look at a leverage play on copper. And before we go any further, just wanted to clarify that this is for marketing and informational purposes only. This is to inform the public of this opportunity, and it's not financial advice. So before we look at this opportunity, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the fundamentals of the markets right now, and our view on this channel, if you've been watching us for the last few years, hasn't changed. We continue to see a shift from paper assets, stocks and bonds, the general markets, into the much smaller hard asset commodity markets. And why is that? Well, because I think we've had too many years of focus on tech and such sectors, and the commodity hard asset sector has been neglected. And the other thing that makes us believe commodities are going to continue to do well is the stagflationary environment that we have. The fact that central banks are having trouble contain inflation, and I think their actions that we've seen recently are going to continue to create a lot of uncertainty in the general markets, stocks and bonds, and that's going to push a lot of investors into alternatives. And we think hard assets and commodities are this alternative. So I guess you're wondering what this leverage play on the copper price is right now. No, it's not buying a kilo of copper. We think copper is going to remain in demand. Of course, we have the EV or green revolution, and that's going to require a lot of copper. So yes, we think the copper price is going to remain elevated. It's going to continue to go higher in the next few years or even decade. But we think it's hard that one could make 10 times his or her money on just buying pure copper. So that's why we're looking today at a junior exploration company called Starr Peak Mining Ltd. Its ticker symbol is STRPF, and we think it's a leverage play on copper. So let's go through how a junior or venture company, this company is listed on the TSX Venture Exchange. It's traded on the OTC market in the US, as you saw from the ticker. So venture companies have a game plan. Marketing, of course, is a very important part of this game plan because investors need to be aware that these companies are around. Usually they're not highly publicized companies. Starr Peak Mining is a venture company on the TSX. So we're going to go through the strategy of venture companies. They're the junior mining companies. They do the exploration. Their goal is to strike a rich deposit, to find a rich deposit, to keep drilling and eventually find a great result that will attract the majors like Newmont, Barrick, and Rio Tinto, who would love to acquire these kinds of world-class deposits from the junior miners, the venture companies, that is. And why is that? Well, because these projects can take up to 6 to 8 years to come to fruition, and they require a lot of capital. And the purpose of the venture company is to find or explore for the deposit, find it, get a great result, and then sell it on for a premium. That's what they do, and that's what Starr Peak Mining is doing. So you probably want to know why Starr Peak Mining, why not another junior exploration company in the base metal sector? Well, there are a few interesting reasons. One of them is that they've discovered a VMS deposit in the Abitibi subprovince of Quebec in Canada. So what's a VMS deposit? Well, it's a volcanogenic massive sulfide ore deposit. And they're very rare. And they have a very long mine life. And they're very rich, especially in copper and zinc. Yes, Starr Peak Mining has some gold and silver as well. But they would be more a byproduct of the operation. And the interesting thing about the VMS deposits is that the deeper you dig, the more you find. So what are some amazing facts about Starr Peak Mining? Well, they've been hitting 90% of their drill holes. Usually hitting 1 out of 10 is good. And they're also fully financed so they can continue to drill. So what's the other point that makes Starr Peak Mining attractive? Well, we think it's the fact that it's a quoted price. The stock has gone from $3 to just under $1 in a year. And the opportunity and the VMS deposit hasn't gone away. So you'd be acquiring a business at a 66% discount and nothing has changed. So who thinks the VMS deposit discovered by Starr Peak Mining is a great deposit as well, aside from Starr Peak Mining? Well, the property is in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt in Quebec, Canada, and 500 meters away from this VMS deposit, another company made a huge gold discovery. And this company, its biggest shareholder is Eric Sprott, with 15% of this company. And Eric Sprott loves this region because the mine that made him a billionaire, Kirkland Lake Gold, is in the same region, not that far away. And the founder of this company that just found the gold 500 meters away, he's realized the potential of Starr Peak Mining and has joined its board. And the other point I would make, the same drilling contractor that discovered this huge gold deposit nearby, they've been used by Starr Peak Mining as well to do the drilling for Starr Peak Mining. The other interesting point about Starr Peak Mining is that the last financing they did was only for accredited investors, and they were willing to finance Starr Peak Mining at $3 a share, and now the company is being quoted at less than $1. And we're going to see why this happens to venture companies and why this could be a really good opportunity to really have a leverage position on copper. So we'll go back to the venture market, and venture markets, as we said before, need a lot of marketing to get the public to know about these companies. And as a result, a lot of these stocks are thinly traded. So the result is that the day-to-day activity or quoted price does not always reflect the value of the business. And the CEO, Jonathan Moore, for example, if someone came to him, a big miner, and offered to pay him the current value, he would refuse, of course. But he would probably sell it for $4 to $5 a share if Newmont approached him, but not for under $1. So the big opportunity with Starr Peak Mining and other venture companies is that their value becomes detached from the fundamentals because the quoted price in the market doesn't reflect the fundamentals. And we would say that the only reason to own Starr Peak Mining is that the upside potential, as we said earlier, this is a leverage play on copper, is huge. It could be anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500%. And that's why it's important for them to keep drilling, because one day they will find a very good result, which will attract the majors. And the downside, what's the downside? Well, that's up to the speculator or investor. you can limit your downside to 20 to 30% stop loss, whatever you want to limit it to. But as we said, you've got a 10, 15, 20 bagger potentially with only 20 to 30% downside. The CEO as well, Jonathan Moore, has experience in venture sector, so it's not the first time he has built this kind of company, and he's got experience, of course, in building the company and selling it on for a premium. To sum up, we think owning Starr Peak Mining is like having an out-of-the-money long-term call option, because the company can keep drilling for a while. It's a well-financed company. It doesn't have any debt. So instead of buying a 3-month call on copper, which will probably expire worthless, and even if it goes through the strike price, you probably won't make 10, 15, 20 times your money. We think that Starr Peak Mining is the best way to play copper in a leverage way. So if you'd like to find more about Starr Peak Mining, there will be a link to its website below in the description. Have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye.